thought it'd be fun to read the story The Long, Long Letter by Elizabeth Spurr, and it's illustrated by David Catrow. The illustrations are really cool, just the drawings, and it's a very unique story. So I thought it'd be really fun to read. The Long, Long Letter by Elizabeth Spurr, illustrated by David Catrow. An illustration is the actual drawings, and it's the pictures that you see. Someone illustrated, meaning they drew them, so that they're called an illustrator. The long, long letter. My mother got a postcard from Aunt Hedda. It read, "Sister dear, don't you owe me a letter?" She received a second message. "I've had no mail for a dog's age," a third in bold calligraphy said. "Have you quite forgotten me?" "Land o' lovin'," sighed my mother. "Why, just last month I wrote her. Poor woman must be lonely. Way out there in the boonies with no kith nor kin to care for, she has too much time to fret. I'd better write a long, long letter, one she will not forget." My mother sat down at her pine-top desk to write. With a fine plumed pen she looped and scrolled, morning, noon, and into night. She badly burned the dinner. It was a long, long letter. She wrote through fall and winter, into spring and summer. The days grew warmer, longer. I grew taller, stronger. It was a long, long letter. She wrote of cabbages and crocuses, sausages and shoes, the newly born, the price of corn, the cranking phone she'd never use, of darning socks and scouring pots, broken clocks and knitting knots. She wrote of all the chores she had no time to do, thanks to the long, long letter. One day after breakfast, she said, "Let us mail the letter. There's still so much time to tell her, but I've no more ink nor paper." We put the letter into boxes and hauled it in a wagon. We gave it to the postman who stuck 1,000 stamps on it. It was a long, long letter. There's the postman as he's putting all the stamps on it. On the way to the train station, a whirlwind came from nowhere. It whipped the tops right off the boxes. Swoosh went Aunt Hedda's letter. Whoosh, the pages scattered. It was an all-gone letter. And Heather lived a crooked mile from the town of Neverby. The townsfolk rarely passed her way, much less passed the time of day with tea and friendly chatter, and none had sent a cheery word by way of card or letter. She was alone, lone Hedda. By her mailbox sat Aunt Hedda. She sat in her carved rocker with a pocket full of crackers and a pot of peanut butter. She rocked and watched around the clock from Monday until Sunday, waiting for the pleasure of a letter from my mother. She rocked in fall and winter through the spring and summer. The days again grew shorter, but there was no long, long letter. She pleaded with the postman, just a small one or a thin one. How she longed, longed, longed for any letter. She ate peanut-buttered crackers to kill the pangs of hunger, but her heart still ached and hungered for a letter. Where was the missive from her sister? How could it have missed her? She'd kept a hawk's watch on the mailbox since a year ago September. December's storm clouds gathered. Aunt Hedda watched and shivered. The wind howled loud and bitter. The dark skies dumped a blizzard. It was the wrong, wrong weather to sit waiting for a letter. In her fringed shawl, Hedda huddled, bone-chilled and befuddled. White flakes danced around her. Soon all was covered over. Mailbox, rocker, peanut butter, and of course, Aunt Hedda. All was silent. All was still. Then slowly from a whitened hill peeked the head of, yes, Aunt Hedda. She was beaming like the sun and staring cross-eyed at her letter. One evening over tea, my mother read to me a fat letter from Aunt Hedda. You might say that I have been a bit under the weather. I thought it was a snowstorm, but it was your airmail letter. Such a long letter. The town was in a dither. It took 3 days to gather with snowplows and a tractor. I am told that midst the rumpus the postman said, Great Zeus's thunder, what's become of Hedda Pincus? She was sitting by her mailbox. She must be 6 feet under. Through the vineyards, through the groves, the townsfolk rushed in droves. Headed by the doctor and followed by the preacher, a posse for emergency was coming out to rescue me. Plain to see, catastrophe draws good folks together. I felt like a celebrity instead of a non-entity. Life looked a lot brighter. I said thank you to the rescue team. Your concern is flattering, but I've suffered no great harm. My sister's letter kept me warm. As the townsfolk shoveled, the postman winked and chuckled. That's what I'd call riding up a storm. 50 children stacked the pages. You forgot to number. They piled them in the haymow, stored them in the silo. They filled the springhouse and the hill, the granary and the still. It was a long letter. I plan to sit down with your letter, catch up on the news, but in the discombobulation of my recent situation, I have lost my spectacles. I cannot read your long letter. 50 children have been rummaging through attic, house, and cellar looking for my glasses, but perhaps it doesn't matter. Kiddos, if you look close, what is she wearing on her head? Exactly, her glasses. For now I have 100 eyes, but best of all, I realize this town is filled with caring friends. I'll never feel alone again, thanks to your long letter. Our book is all done. That was the long letter, and boy, it was long. All right, kiddos, well, thank you for reading with me, and I miss you all so much.